Welcome. Today we're going to talk about writing equations of lines that are through a particular point and parallel or perpendicular to a particular line. So the big thing about parallel lines, you can see the green are parallel, the blue are parallel. Parallel lines specifically not only don't touch, but have the same slope. Now I'm going to be going relatively quickly through this, so if at any point in time you need to pause the video to take notes, please do so. So to find the equation of a line that is parallel to a given equation and through a given point, for example, through the point -1, -3, and parallel to y equals 2x plus 1, you're going to want to find the slope of the line that you start with. Now this is our starting line. And the slope, in this case, y equals m. M is the slope, x plus b. M is 2. Now the second thing you're going to need to do is you use the slope and the point you're given to find the equation of the line, but we need to find b to do that. So I'm going to plug in the y value, the x value, and the slope, and solve for b. Let's see, -3 equals 2 times -1 plus b. Y equals mx plus b. I need to solve for b, and I do that by multiplying here and then add the opposite +2 in this case to both sides. B is going to be -1. Now it's coincidence that x and b came out to the same thing. Alright, so now that I know what b is, and I know what m is from earlier, m is 2, then y equals mx plus b. Now I could put plus -1, but I'm going to put -1. Either one is fine. Alright, there's your result. Here we go. Find the equation of the line. Well, you can try this on your own after you pause it, but I will do it out now. So, slope is the first thing I'm going to find. 1/8, right there. And then y, 1 equals 1/8 times -3 plus b. We're trying to solve for b so that we can get the equation. Now, anytime you have a situation where you have a fraction times a whole number, put that whole number over 1, and now you can do it. Multiply the tops together, the bottoms together. So 1 equals -3/8 plus b. I'm going to add 3/8 to get rid of the -3/8. Now, when I do that, b is going to be, I can add a positive and a positive together, 1 and 3/8. Now, 3/8 is a proper fraction, so I can just add it to 1. If it were improper, I couldn't do it quite like that. Now, this is also equivalent to 11/8, because 1 is 8/8 plus 3/8 would be 11/8. Now that I have my slope and my y-intercept, I can either use 1 and 3/8 or 11/8, your choice. Y equals 1/8 x plus 11/8, or y equals 1/8 x plus 1 and 3/8, your choice. There you go. Moving on. Try this one. This one's much easier than the last one. Here we go. Slope is -1. Now we know this is understood to be a 1 before it, so -1 is our slope. 1 equals -1 times 3 plus b. -1 times 3, -3. Add 3 to both sides. B is 4. And now I can say y equals negative 1x, or negative x, plus 4, and there's your equation. All right, let's try another one. Oh boy, x equals 0. What kind of line is x equals 0? X equals 0. All x equals a number equations are vertical lines. They're all in the form x equals a number. Now a vertical line is going to be parallel to another vertical line. And if we just said that all vertical lines are in the form x equals a number, what is the x value in my coordinate? Why? X is equal to negative 4. And that's the equation of this line. Let's take a look at perpendicular lines. Now, perpendicular lines are two lines that cross. They make 90-degree angles. But the most important part for us this time is, here's an example of perpendicular lines here. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes, or opposite sign reciprocal slopes, where you flip over the fraction. So for example, by the way, one thing to note, this upside down capital T is the symbol for perpendicular. So slope, perpendicular slope. If my slope was 1/2, perpendicular slope, that's positive, so negative reciprocal 2 over 1. Now isn't 2 over 1 the same thing as just 2? So therefore I can erase that part and just say negative 2. Negative 3/2, positive 2 over 3. Reciprocal, opposite sign, 2 over 3. Now this next one, when you have 4 as the number, well, you kind of want that to be a fraction, so you can always put it over 1 so that you can see the fraction. Now when we take the reciprocal, 1/4, and make it opposite sign, negative. Same kind of thing here, but it's going to be a positive 1 over 5. And our last one, 6 over 11, reciprocal is going to be negative 11 over 6. Hopefully you're understanding the idea of slope compared to perpendicular slope. So given that information, find the equation of a line that is perpendicular to a given equation and through a given point. So if we're trying to find the equation here through the point negative 2, 3, and it's going to be perpendicular to this equation, well, the first thing I have to do is I have to find the slope of the equation I'm given. Now in this case, that's 2/3, right here. The next step we're going to take is we're going to find the slope of the perpendicular line, or the perpendicular slope compared to this slope. So the perpendicular slope is going to be reciprocal, opposite sign, negative 3 over 2. This is what we'll use to find B along with the point that we had to start with. So use the perpendicular slope and the given point and plug them into y equals mx plus b to solve for B. Slope was negative 2, 3, so negative 2, 3, the point was that, and the slope that we're using is negative 3 over 2. It's coincidence that those numbers are similar. Y, 3, equals m, negative 3 over 2, times x, and x in this case is negative 2, plus b. Now I'm going to throw that over 1 to make our job easier. You can multiply the tops and the bottoms, then simplify, or you can reduce as you go along. 2 and 2 reduce with each other, 1 on top, 1 on bottom. Negative and negative make a positive, so I end up with 3 equals 3 plus b. And I have to solve for b, so I subtract 3 from both sides. And it turns out an unusual situation, b is 0. So my slope is negative 3 over 2 that I'm going to use, and b is 0. So when I get down here, really I'm plugging in not just m, but perpendicular m, right, to the original. And it's going to be y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 0. Now you can write plus 0, or you can leave it without that because adding 0 doesn't change it. Your choice. All right, you give this one a try, and then I'll do it out. Here we go. Let's see, slope is negative 1. Perpendicular slope is going to be opposite sign, reciprocal. Well, 1 over 1 is still 1, right? So there you go. Let's see, 3 equals 1 times 1 plus b. 3 equals 1 plus b. Subtract 1 from both sides. b is going to equal 2. Y equals 1x plus 2. There's your equation for the perpendicular to y equals negative x minus 3. All right, let's take a look here. Give this one a try, see what you can do. The answers will be fractions. Slope, 4 over 9. Perpendicular slope, negative 9 over 4. This does happen occasionally when you have problems with perpendicular or even parallel. Let's see, negative 5 equals negative 9 over 4 times 1 plus b. I'm going to have to add 9 over 4 to both sides. Now, to do this, I really need negative 5 to be over 4. So I have to say over 4 plus 9 over 4. Now, it's already over 1, so if I multiply top and bottom by 4, that's going to give me negative 20 over 4 plus 9 over 4. That's going to end up as negative 11 over 4. Combine negative 20 and 9, and you get negative 11 over 4. Y equals negative 9 over 4x minus 11 over 4. And there's your answer. All right, let's keep going. Let's try this one. This one will be much nicer. Slope, 1/3. Perpendicular slope, reciprocal, opposite sign, negative 3. 3 equals negative 3 times negative 1 plus b. 3 equals 3 plus b. Hey, this happened again. Subtract 3 from both sides. b is 0. So our equation is y equals negative 3x plus 0 if you want. And our last example. Hey, we're back to x equaling a number, and we said before that that's a vertical line. It's a vertical line when it's x equals a number. Well, if x is a vertical, if the equation x equals 0 is a vertical line, what's perpendicular to that? A horizontal line. So their perpendicular is a horizontal line. So therefore, Horizontal lines are y equals a number. That's how you set horizontal lines up. And if it's y equals, what is my y coordinate in my point? Well, it's 2. And there you have the final answer. The equation is y equals 2. I believe that's everything. It is. I hope you have a wonderful day.